6 amazing benefits of barefoot running. So number 1, foot strength. So it might sound like a strange one, but foot strength is something no one really ever thinks about or talks about when running, really in general. So when you're running in these padded supportive shoes, your feet aren't working at all, and everything hypertrophies, which means you have weak feet, which means your feet are more likely to become injured through running or just through life in general. What happens when you run minimalist or barefoot or in barefoot running shoes is your feet become stronger. So your forefoot running, you've got absolutely no support there at all. Your feet are absorbing a lot of the impact of each of your strikes, becoming stronger that way, and they're helping to push off as well, which results in stronger arches, stronger feet in general, and more or less injury prone feet, which is an absolute phenomenal plus point for barefoot running. What can also happen is, because your arch is getting a lot stronger, you'll actually drop a shoe size. So this happens to many people. Personally, it didn't happen to me, but I have absolutely massive boat feet anyway. So sorry fellas, if you like to boast about the size of your feet and somehow try and relate that to the size of what's in your downstairs region, then you're going to be dropping a size. So hopefully don't drop a size down there too. Less impact on your joints. So following on what we're talking about just then, if you're barefoot running and you're doing it properly, and it's very difficult to run with a heel strike when you're barefoot running, but when you're barefoot running, you'll land with either a forefoot strike or a midfoot strike, which means your feet, your ankles, your ligaments essentially are absorbing the impact. So you're absorbing the impact through ligaments, muscles, tendons, the muscles, ligaments, tendons that nature designed to absorb the impact, rather than through your skeletal structure, your knees, your shins, your hips. That's going to lead to a much softer, much more enjoyable, much more economic running style, injury free, beautiful, we've covered it before, but impact absorption is a massive one for barefoot running. Iron calves. So when the sun finally shines like it is today, it's 22 degrees for the first time this year, it's absolutely beautiful. You can put your shorts on and you can blow everybody away with the size and the definition of your calves. You know, people go to the gym, all these bodybuilders with their skinny tiny legs, and you'll be rocking around with calves the size of people's blooming faces, you know what I mean? So all these massive bodybuilders walking around, you'll have the biggest, most defined calves possible, and there's not an amount of calf raises in the entire world that's going to build calves like the calves you're going to build when you're barefoot running. Less energy expenditure when running, and why this is because your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles, as we spoke about earlier, are absorbing all of the impact. That impact is actually transferred back out behind you into your just your running gait, right? So you absorb the impact like a spring absorbs the tension, and when that tension's been absorbed fully, it gets released behind you, and that's part of the running motion. So gravity and that spring-like impact pushing backwards keeps you going. So if you're running correctly with a high cadence, absorbing the strike properly like a spring, loading it up and firing it backwards, then you're going to be far more efficient, and there's going to be way less energy expenditure per strike, right? Compared to a heel strike where you're landing forward of your body and pulling yourself forward. This is all about momentum. It's all about using yourself as a spring-like motion to fire backwards and keep rolling. Faster running. It may seem strange to some people, a lot of people, that minimalist running can lead to faster running, but all of the things that we've spoken about so far lead to faster running. The better absorption of the strike, the more efficient strike, everything. You will be running faster. You'll be running further, faster, longer, and it's all good. You know, I have never run faster since running barefoot, and I know many people watching this video will testify to that fact. Barefoot running, minimalist running will sort your technique out, will make you more efficient, All of these things, you'll be injury free, which means you can do more running. All of these things will result in you becoming a faster runner, which means you can nail your races. And if you're running in Vibram 5 fingers or something like that, then you can blast past all these people that don't believe that Vibram 5 fingers are the right thing to do, with a big grin on your face, knowing that you're the one making your free choices, while all these sheep can plod along, injuring themselves, and you know, moving backwards rather than forwards. And finally, enjoyment. Enjoyment is probably the #1 thing that I would promote barefoot minimalist running for. Right? There's nothing like the feeling of being able to, that perception of what's happening under your feet, feeling everything, and the connection between foot and mind all the way up your body and all the way back down. Just being intimately aware of what's happening underneath your feet, on the ground beneath your feet. It's a spectacular, wonderful feeling. You feel connected with the earth, connected with your run in a way that just never happens. You know, it's like if you go to sleep on your arm and you wake up and your arm's numb, it feels horrible, doesn't it? Well, that's like what running in these padded shoes is like. You know, you're running on numb bricks basically, and barefoot running, you feel everything and it just feels great. You know, it just feels absolutely wonderful. It's a joy. If you've never tried it, then you should absolutely get yourself a pair, or just put some socks on and try it, and you'll see what that feeling's like. Guys, that is it for today. That's my 6 top reasons why running in minimal shoes or barefoot running is absolutely awesome. I'd love to hear yours. What do you love most about barefoot running? Or if you're not already part of the barefoot running crew, then what is preventing you, what is putting you off from joining? Love to hear your comments, whatever they might be, good or bad. Please hit the thumbs up button, it really helps me out. Please check out my running top tips, my long run do's and don'ts. Actually, it's on this side, isn't it? Wherever it is, click those videos, click the subscribe button as well, which I will stick here today. You know what to do by now. I'm not a sheep, you're not a sheep. There's no sheep in the Steve Cow Clash Fitness shed. Keep it rolling.